Hi everybody, it's 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, and today I am here to make two cards. And I'm using Pink and Main Planter Friends. They're adorable. Adorable. Alrighty? So stay with me and I'm going to show you how to make these two cards. This one is like a little stepper card, but I'm using it as like a plant stand. And then this one is like a little pinwheel to hold the little planter friends. All right. Hi, darling. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planter friends on here, which are pretty darn cute. And I colored them with my markers. My favorite combo, red and yellow, so I'm using that today. All right, so we'll do this one first. Get my stuff out here. Alrighty. And there's also little sentiments on the stamp as well, and I'll be using those. Okay. First off, we'll cut our shelves. So this is 4.5 by 4.25, and I'm going to score along the long side at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 3.5, and 4. All right. So that is one of the plant stands, and then the second plant stand is 4.25 by 3.5, and along the short side I'm going to, no, I need to do it this way. I'm going to score at, oh no, that's right. Did I do this right? Yeah, 4.25. And along the short side I'm going to score at 1/2, 1, 2.5, and 3. Okay, so now it looks like this. So let's fold and burnish on these, and I'm doing mountain folds on all of them. Okay. So just a mountain fold. All right, so there's our mountain fold. I think I can put this down a little bit. And this one as well. Okay, let's prepare the card. So your card's 4.25 by 5.5, and I have cut a piece of patterned paper that is 4 by 5.25. Hi, Muriel. This paper is from Hip Hip Hooray from Echo Park. So we'll just put that on there, like so. Okay, so it's a top folding portrait card. So the first one that we're going to put on is the larger one, all right? So the easiest way to do this is we're going to put adhesive here, and I'm also going to put adhesive here. So those are the 2 1/2 inch sections on each of the ends. Hi, Selena. All right. So on the top one, I'm going to fold it on the second score line, like that. And on the bottom one, I'm going to fold it on the first score line. Okay. And then I'm just going to rest this on the bottom of the card, like so. And then this is just going to tuck under, lining up my sides. And then there it is. See that? So it was, you put your adhesive on the 1/2 inch sections on either end, and then you fold this one on the first score line, and you fold this one on the second score line and put it on. All right? And now we have our second one. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to put my adhesive on this 1/2 inch section and this 1/2 inch section on each side. The top one I'm folding on the second score line, and the bottom one I'm folding on the first score line. And I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm just going to put it along this score line here. And there it is. Whoop. Burnish it a bit there. So there's our little planter stand. See that? So inside there, I'm going to just slip this in. And this is, where's my ruler? This is 4 by 2.5. So that'll just finish it off. And I'm just going to slide it in here, like so. Just grab that. There we go. So now that just kind of finishes that off. Not kind of, it does. And then the second piece is 4 by 1.5. So that I'm going to slip in this one. Slide that in. There we go. Okay, so then you can look in there and then you can see that it's all finished. So this is going to lay flat when you mail it or give it to the recipient, and then when they get it, this will pop out. Okay. Okay, now on the front here, I've cut some pieces, and this would be 1.5 by 4, and this one looks like it's about 1 inch by 4, and I'm just going to put them on the front there of my planter. Well, it really isn't difficult. I'm going to do a handout for this. I did not do one for the bendy card yesterday. I thought I had already had a handout for it, but I can't find it. So if I have time today, I'll do one for bendy card, and I'm also working on them for this one because I think this is adorable. You could use this for many things. This double shelf. All right, so there we go. So there's that. now we have our little planter friends. And I used them all because they're just too darn cute. I used every one of them on here. So they're kind of sitting there. Some of them I used my foam tape on. But if you don't want the extra bulk, then you don't need to use it. So cute. I forgot to color those. Just noticed that. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to put my little frog. Tuck him under there. Now these, I cut these with my Scan and Cut, but I did cut some of them just freehand, fussy cutting, and they didn't take any time at all. So the stamp is really cute, and especially if you are a plant lover or you want to give a card with a plant theme to your friend that loves plants, then this is the perfect one. So cute. Now we have a little llama here. And we have a giraffe. And we have a dog. I'm going to pop the dog up a bit with my foam tape. I have a lot of, I'm not a plant lover. Like I'm not in my garden. I do not have a garden. I have a few plants in my house, but I know so many people that are plant lovers. Now, I had this Hello Friend, and I put it here, but I'm wondering if I should put it up here. I'm thinking I might put it up here. No? And then I could put a little bee there. I'll try that. There we go. And then I'm going to put my little bee on. And they're fun to color too. And then down here I'll put the other bee. Isn't that just the cutest? Now there is a little flight path stamp that you can use. I'm just going to do this. Because I have so much bulk, I should have put the path on before. But this will work. And then I'll do one here. There we go. So there's card number 1. Isn't that adorable? I think so. I like the Hello Friend at the top. Anyways, so there's card number 1. Using my little friends. Now, card number 2. I have this little it doesn't really look like a pinwheel. I don't know what you'd call it, but I saw a card and I thought, wouldn't they look adorable peeking out of it? Just a little extra thing. Now, you could do this also. You could have a flower in here. You could do all sorts of things with this little thing, and I'll do a handout to show you how I make it. Okay, so this again is a top fold portrait card, and I'm using the same yellow and red paper. All right, so what you need to make the little pinwheel, I don't know what you should call it. All right, so you're going to measure 1 3/8. I think that's what it was. Just 1 sec here. One and 3/8. So you're going to measure 1 3/8, and you're going to, I'm just going to draw a score line there. 1 3/8. Now, remember 3/8 is just 1/8 before the 1/2 inch. So I'm doing 1 3/8 on all sides. Okay. Alrighty. You can see them there. And then I'm going to cut out, so I'm actually cutting the entire score line out, but I'm going to cut out the 4 corners. Okay. And I am removing the score line. There we go. And the last one. So this was a 6 by 6 piece of paper. All right. So now it looks like this. So what we're going to do now is we are going to cut from this point to this point. Now, if you wanted, you could take your ruler from here to here and draw a line. Like that. So you see where I've drawn the line from here to here, and then you're going to cut that. So get a larger pair of scissors and snip it off. All right? Now I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to do the same on this side. But I'm just going to go and freehand the cut because I have my long scissors, and I'm rotating it again and opening my scissors right up and then going down like that and rotating it and doing that again. Okay. All right, so now it looks like this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to fold on those score lines. Okay. Get those. Yeah, see, this would look nice having a flower or something blooming out of it. You can do all sorts of things. This one, just gonna get that more in. There we go. Okay, so if the opposite side of this had been a nice inside, we could have used it, but I'm just going to put a piece of white cardstock in there. Okay. So I'm just going to slip that in there. Okay, that'll work. Yeah. Okay, so now what you're going to do, so I've just put that in, but like I said, if the opposite side, the reverse side, is something that you liked then and looked great, then you could just use that. So now I'm going to take this bottom piece and I'm going to fold it. These are all mountain folds. And then I'm going to fold this one in. And then I'm going to fold this one in. And then I'm going to fold this one in. And the last one I'm going to tuck under here. Okay? And then you can see that it kind of bounces. It really does give a 3D look to it. Okay? Now, if you wanted, I chose not to, you could put a little mat around this before putting it on here. It's 3 1/4, so you could have a 3.5 by 3.5 mat on here, but I chose not to. Okay, and then you're going to place it in the upper half of your card, like so. Okay. All right, now I had extra ones left over from this one, so we'll put some different ones in here. I have a Sending Cheer. This is from the stamp set. So we'll just put that right here. And then we'll put our little guys in here. So we could put that one there. That one there. And the little cat there. Okay? So I will put adhesive on here. Put that guy under here. So cute. And then this little cat right here. Now I think I will use some foam tape on that cat. And we'll just put a little bit of foam tape on the bottom of them. Yeah, if you are a plant lover friends, I think you need these planter friends. They're so cute. And then I'm going to slip him in here, like so. How cute is that? Very simple, but adorable. And it certainly is Sending Cheer. Now, I do have a couple left over here. So I think I'm going to open this up. Oh. Obviously that is from something else. I'll have to put it on a different card. So we have some left over, so I'm going to put So we can just put this guy here and this guy here. And then we have a little bee. So we'll put the little bee on. Okay, and we'll do a little flight path on that. There we go. How sweet is that? So we have, there's 2 cards, and I've used them up. Yeah, I think the pinwheel is really cute. Like I say, you could have flowers blooming out. You could do all sorts of things with it. And I am working on a handout for it. Okay? Alrighty. So here's our cards. So this one has a little planter stand, which is adorable. And it folds flat for mailing. And then this one opens up and there's little guys in there. Yeah, they're very cute, and I'm doing the handout for it. So I'll get Kathy to put a link to the Pink and Main stamp, and it's called Planter Friends. And they're, like I say, they're tons of fun to color. And they're not hard to fussy cut out either. But I did use my Scan and Cut. Alright, so there we go. So cute. Alright, tomorrow I'm going to do another one, and I am going to do these cards. So I'm doing some masking with Masking Magic, and look at this background. Stunning. So these are magnolias. So even like with this pinwheel, like you could have one of these flowers coming out of there and it would look beautiful. So, okay, so I'll show you how to make those tomorrow. All right, thanks for joining me. I will get the handout done now, and I will get it posted for you, okay? Thanks for joining me, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.